Hey, my name's DJ Chillz. You're listening to the Us People podcast with Savia Rocks. I'm a DJ and producer from London. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Us People podcast. I'm your host, Savia Rocks, and today I'm lucky enough to have DJ Chillz here with me today. Thank you so much for coming on the Us People podcast. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Hi, Savia. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Thanks a lot, Han. Thank you.
No problem at all.
You're a London-based DJ and producer.
Yes, I've stepped into the production world now.
Ooh, how's it been so far?
Oh, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. I won't lie to you. It's not been, because I've been trying to balance the DJing as well as the production and learning the technical side of production. It's been a journey, but I've started to see fruition. Like, I started to see my hard work come to
light.
Yeah, definitely.
No, that's perfect. Tell me a little bit about your background and where you grew up and how that influenced you to do music.
Oh, I grew up, I was originally born in Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah.
I grew up there. So I remember like my primary school education. I remember the structure there. There's a lot of structure involved. But I always knew that I liked music growing up. I always wanted to make like little mixtapes and stuff for like people's birthday and stuff. And then when I came here with my mum, it was year 5. And I realized a lot of kids were having birthday parties, but they never really had DJs. So I would be like, okay, I'll make the mix CD or I'll make the mixtape. And so I did that, and it just started the journey in music. Like, I always had my education, like the structure of education, but the creativity of music was always there throughout. Just growing up, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the first song you ever heard that made you fall in love with music, because we all have a song that's in our mind when we were little. Like, oh, I like this. No matter if nobody else understands that we love that song, but we love that song. What was your first song you ever heard?
Do you know what? Music's always been in the house. Growing up, I think I can't tell you a particular song. I just remember a particular sound. And it's really interesting to, now that you've actually made me go back, is so in Nigerian parties, they've always had the men with the talking drums and that Fuji vibe. And that's exactly what always I used to remember. I used to be like, I just want to hear that. And then on TV, that was the kind of vibe that was going on. I think it's called Fuji music, but Sunny Ade was the one. Shina Peters. Those were the ones that I was, like, my parents were listening to, so I was listening to. And that's what I used to hear in the house. But I couldn't tell you the particular track that made me think, I just knew that I was always around music, always just, I didn't really listen to that much Western music until I moved over to London.
Well, that makes sense.
Even when I was over there, like, I did listen to Nigerian music. It's quite interesting. now that you've made me go back, it's like,
I'm gonna make you go back a bit.
Oh wow.
I love doing that to people. I love pulling out good memories from people. It brings out a lot, and it also can help you to be more creative in what you do as well. I know we spoke about the influence of music, but tell me a little bit about what made you realize that you wanted to become a DJ and now / producer.
Okay, so DJing, it kind of naturally happened. So when I was in uni, I was always like doing something in music. I found a promotions company to shadow, and then you have 1 year. So in your 4-year degree, you have 1 year to do a placement. And I just knew my soul, I couldn't do like an office space. Like, even though I was doing business management and IT, I just knew for that whole year I wanted to do something. It was like my version of a gap year, basically, to do what I wanted to do. So I said to the company, can you take me on? I will make sure that I pay myself. I'll find a way of paying myself. And they were like, yeah. And while I was working there, they were like, okay, we have studios, we have DJs, we have everything here. What do you want to do? And I was just like, okay. So I started testing bits and pieces out. I did a little bit of writing. I was like, it was okay.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I saw vinyls and decks, it's like I already,
You fell in love. That's it.
yeah, it naturally just happened. I was just like, oh, this is something I can do. I naturally can put music together, tracks together. So that was that journey into DJing, and I just started following the DJs around, going to their gigs, watching how they played, because I at that time I realized that I observe people and that's how I learn.
Yeah, that's same.
So that kind of naturally happened, and then after a few months they were like, okay, it's your turn now. I was like, why?
Come on, pick it up and go. How was it for you for your first time when you decided that you had to do it?
Okay, so after following those DJs and then taking the leap myself, I was just noticing a few things while I was DJing that I could naturally pick out different elements in music, in the tracks, and I was just like, okay, so how do I feed this curiosity kind of thing, and it kind of came out as going deeper into music production, how the track's created, how it's produced and everything. And so I went back, studied for a year in production and engineering. And for a few years, I just practiced, and voila, here I am now.
What makes you unique compared to other DJs? So what makes you stand out?
What makes me stand out? Wow, that's a big question. I think it's the fact that I don't let the genres limit me. A lot of people automatically off the gate would have expected me to release like an straight up Afro beats or straight up R&B or urban track, as people would like to claim it. But there was actually a story behind why I gravitated towards house music. I never really liked it. I never really understood it. I was just like, oh, this is a lot of noise, a lot of 4/4 to the floor. It's just too much. And then I went to, strangely, Ibiza with a friend, and there's other options, but he was mainly a house DJ. And I was, for 4 days, I absorbed the music, I absorbed everything. Then I came back and I studied the foundations of house music and where it originated, and there's a lot of history with it. And so I was just like, okay, this isn't what I thought it was. There was a lot of surface level knowledge that I knew, but when you go deeper into it, it's Chicago, and even before Chicago, you can go further back, and it's like, okay, appreciate this music and appreciate what it can teach you as well. And whenever I was creating, that was what was naturally coming out. So I was just like, okay, so there's something here. Stick to that, but also bring your own style into it. So I guess I play, or as a DJ, I play house Afro beats, and I blend it nicely. And I guess that's what makes it stand out, because you won't get a straight Afrobeat set, but you'd get the best of both worlds.
I like that.
I might even throw in a random 80s just to, throw it back just a little bit.
Mix it in there. Just mix it in there. Look, how is the music business for you?
At this particular moment, or just in general?
Just in general, or now, or do both.
Okay. In general, it's been good to me. I work in music as well. So I'm a radio plugger. So it's like, the middle person between the record label and the radio station. So
how do you find it? Is that difficult for you?
I think it gave me a lot of education. To be honest,
I like
education in how to market myself. Because as much as you want to be the creative, you also need to realize that you're also the brand and the business person. So you need to juggle it all up, and being in the industry, I can tailor my brand to how I want to be presented, and just maneuver myself in the right place. I think it's been okay. The music industry at present, things are still people are still adapting to this new change. I don't know. I think for this whole year, I personally, as a DJ, I've decided to like almost take a step back because I've never really had a break. Whenever I go on holidays and stuff, I'm still working. So this is the first time I've actually had a moment to step back and actually look at myself as a DJ and what I offer to people and see if it's still something that is in line with who I am as a person. Like I enjoy playing in the clubs. I enjoy giving people that experience of creating memories, and that is a big thing for me. A lot of people are like, why haven't you jumped on IG Live? That's the thing. But like I said previously, I didn't get into DJing to jump on a trend or to jump what's popular at the moment. I got into DJing organically from the loving it, and I'm not taking anything away from anyone that's doing IG Live or anything like that. It's dope because I even look into people's shows and be like, oh yeah, this is great. But I think personally for me, it's given me time and space to actually think of where I want to move forward in regards to DJing music.
And push yourself forward. No, that makes total sense. If there was one person that you admire within DJing, who would it be?
Within DJing?
Within DJing.
Jazzy Jeff.
Ooh, okay. So
I've seen him live as well. And it's like, it was like, it's between him and DJ Premier, but I think he might go to Jazzy.
Oh, okay.
When he came to London, I remember queuing up, and I don't like queues. Like, it's a thing. I think it's personally a thing with DJs. They just don't like queuing.
That's fair enough. You guys should be used to just getting in.
But imagine like 100 DJs just scroll through to an event. People are like, no. So I queued up and I waited in the cold with a couple of friends. He was late, but then when he got there, it was just like a performance. It was almost like seeing a musician performing, and it's like, wow, he's created such a way of blending music and just creating an atmosphere that is I don't think I've seen a performance like that to date. And even myself, I try and create that, but then you can never completely
you just make it unique in your own way. I understand that. What are the hurdles you face as a DJ, and how do you overcome them?
Initially, I think there was just not that many female DJs. I won't even lie to you.
I was going to get to that too.
Yeah, there wasn't that many, and it was just like, okay, this is interesting. But I didn't get too much of a challenge because when I first started, and I'm very grateful for this, and I'll always say this, when I first started, I was with the guys, and the group of guys, they were called the Get Down Crew. They were very supportive, and whenever we'd go to gigs and stuff, they were there to help me. And there was no issues with promoters, and you know how some people have horror stories and stuff like that. I didn't particularly get any. And when I ventured out myself, I kind of used a little bit of the knowledge I had from music, as well as the business side, to kind of market myself. So I'd see what all the guys were doing. I'd be like, okay, I can do that. So I bought myself a CD copier. I mixed the CD, copied it, pasted the CD, pasted the label, and I stood outside with guys in the cold giving out CDs, and that's how people were like, "Oh, you again?" And then we just started talking, and I think I gained my respect that way within the community. And hurdle-wise, I think it was just pushing past my fears and my doubts. I think personally, fear is a big thing, and it's a big challenge for me. Every change I have to go through, I've had to push myself.
I agree with you on that one.
That has always been my major thing. Even switching to production, I've just been like, oh, what if people don't like it? And I'm just like, what if people don't like it now? Like, someone will like it.
There's always, I always say to people, even if you're doing something, there's always going to be someone that's going to criticize or have an opinion. Yeah. And if you're doing what you love and it comes from your heart, there are going to be people who love you for who you are and love what you do. So you're not going to be able to please everyone in the world, because some people are just miserable and there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
But as long as you're pleasing the positive kind of people, then those are the ones you need to stay with.
Yeah.
And then everybody
100.
else you can just filter out and it will just disappear. So that's kind of how it. Well, this is a strange question, and I asked this. I asked random questions on the Us People
Okay.
podcast. So here's one: what's your favorite curse word?
Do you know what? It's so funny. I just said it in my head. It's for fuck's sake. Like literally. But I'll say it, but then I'll say the abbreviated version in my head. It's just so easy to say, and it's just like that's it.
So I got another one for you as well. So I said, if heaven exists, right?
Okay.
What would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
DJ Chillz. Literally, that's it. Literally. If he says that, I'm just like, yep.
I'm there. I'm there. Just put me through.
Like literally, that would be it. I'll be good.
Tell me something that's true that almost you tell people that nobody else agrees with.
Something that's true that you tell people but nobody else agrees
No,
with.
you know when you say to someone something, and then they're like, "No, that's not true." Has there ever been a time where you said something to someone
No.
and they're like, "Oh hell no"?
I'm trying to think. I'm so stumped on this one. And what is it? Have I ever told? And the thing is, I probably have. And they're like, nah. And then they realise.
It's true. And then they come back to you.
Yeah.
No, we'll come back to you.
No, they won't. They'll just act like it's
their
normal.
ego. It's their ego, most probably.
It's true.
What's the biggest surprise you've ever had in the last 3 months?
In the last 3 months, I just came back from literally just before this whole COVID.
Yeah.
I just got back from Nigeria.
Oh, wicked.
And I went there and I was just like stressing. I haven't been there in 10 years before that.
Is it just that you didn't have time, or is it just that?
It was a mixture of both. The last time I went there, I went to go bury my dad. So so it kind of lost kind of relationship with there.
Oh, I understand.
So then we went back for 10 years and I was just anxious and I was just like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Everything's going to be just not how I want it to be because I like things a certain way, my comforts and stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Went there and I had the most amazing time of my life. Met family, ate great food.
I can imagine, yeah.
People there, it's just like, it just felt like home, but not home, which is a weird thing to say or describe to someone. Actually, that's it. To describe to someone, like, I just felt like I was home. Like, I've been to Egypt, I've been to a few places in Africa, and I'm Nigerian, so it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that was a big surprise. Because I just went there with so much like angst, and I came back and I was just like, I want to go back. I was ready to go back in April. So literally,
Oh, that's a nice feeling to have. Because I know sometimes we get anxious about things and what we do, how we do, family we meet, things that have happened in the past, because they kind of groom us. It kind of molds us into the person who we are today, what happens to us. So what do you usually start when preparing a set? So what do you usually do when you're preparing a set? How do you do it? What's your process?
To a set? It all depends. If I'm playing at a club and it's a booking I've never been to, if I haven't been to, then I kind of gauge it on what kind of event it is. And then I would have my power tracks to go to, and then I kind of don't try and prepare a set, which is really weird. A lot of people, I have my sets in mind. I know what goes with what. I think I've got to the stage where I know what goes with what. I know what 10 tracks can go with what. I've got my power tracks, but I don't particularly plan sets because I've done that before. And there's so many layers to DJing that there's a psychological layer to it where if you're not reading the crowd and the energy that they want,
That's what I
and
was
you
gonna
just
ask you.
play
Yeah,
you play something else, that will throw you off as well
yeah.
because they're not reacting to how you want them to react. And it's like, well, it's an exchange of energy. You need to understand that. So yeah, I
Tell me
don't know.
about energy. Tell me about
Yeah.
energies as well, because you just spoke about it. And that's one of
Yeah.
the questions I had for you, which I think is so
Okay.
important for people to understand. Tell me about
Okay.
the energy between you as a DJ and
Yeah.
as the crowd. How does that
Okay.
work?
Um, so like I said, there's a mad psychology. Everyone comes into a club or an event with a preconceived notion of having a great time, and you have to provide that for them. So if you're not up and if you don't look like you're ready, that sends off a certain energy to them. Because if they look at you, you're playing music, but they're not seeing you engaged. They're just
Yeah,
like, what's this about? And also, if you don't give them the right energy, if you're giving them up tempo as a warm up DJ, then they're just going to be like, okay, this is cool, but you've burned us all out, and we've got 3 more hours before the end of the set, and the next DJ is going to be angry with you as well. So because they're going to be like, what do I do now? So there's so many layers to it, and the best feeling for me personally is looking out and seeing people either just like vibe to a certain song that they all know and they're just like, yeah, yeah, and they start singing it. And it's just like, you just created a memory for that
yeah, that's
person.
true. Yeah, definitely.
And there's group of people and they will always remember that, they'll always have that, oh, do you remember that time where we were, and then Chillz played that, not in an ego way, just in a way that just creates experiences for people. I think that's one of the things that I enjoy about teaching. It allows me to personally have my own experience and also share that with other people as
Yeah.
well.
No,
So
I like
yeah,
that. If you had one album that was a soundtrack of your life, what album would you choose and why would you choose that particular album?
do you know what? I wanted to go for like a proper like hardcore hip hop, but I'm gonna go with the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Oh, that's a good one to choose actually.
I think if I look at my life till now, yeah, every song, like that is one of my top albums
You
as
can
well.
listen to that from start to finish, I must admit that.
You can, and it's like, okay, I personally think she couldn't have gone any, like that
Yeah.
set the bar for a lot of people, inspired a lot of music, and just certain things, love, life, just everything that you can think about, betrayal, everything. Just, it's just all wrapped up in
I
one.
like that. No, that makes sense. That makes total sense. If there was one quote now,
Oh,
here we
okay.
go, that represents you as a person, what quote would you choose and why would you choose that particular quote?
Okay, so recently not recently, but I've been on a spiritual path, a spiritual journey, just to know myself, who I am. And a lot, two main quotes. Can I give you two or do you want
No,
one?
you can give me two. If they resonate with you, give me two.
Okay, so the main one that really does resonate with me is know thyself.
Okay, I love that. Okay.
Like I never really understood it. I just saw people saying, I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Yeah, know thyself. That's a good quote. I'm gonna keep that. But now I actually understand what that means, and it's a journey. You don't just do it and straight away you know the answer who you are. It's a process. You're doing it every day, every year, every 10 years. Is and as a person you reinvent yourself. So know thyself is definitely one. And then the other one is as above so below. So that means personally to me balance it, and it ties in with knowing yourself, because for me to truly know who I was, I had to go through highs, I had to go through lows, but as long as I knew that everything balances out, then I'm able to move forward per se. So those were the two quotes that
I like
mean a
that.
lot to me. Yeah.
So I know you said to me that you would pick Lauryn Hill as your soundtrack for your life.
Yeah.
But if you were stuck in a desert island now,
Oh,
yeah, and you had to bring one song. You're not allowed to bring an album. You're only allowed to bring one song. What song would you bring, and why would you bring that song?
One song.
One song. I could be generous and say another album, but then I'm giving you 2 albums. So
It's true. One song. This is this is the worst question you could ask a DJ. Like,
that's why I like
one
answering.
song.
It has to be difficult for you because I can't make it easy. You're a DJ. You know so many songs, so many genres. You know how people feel.
Okay, this is gonna be such a wild card.
Go on.
It's gonna be Queen,
Queen.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Ooh, yeah.
I think I need it. If I'm on a desert island, I need something to entertain me all the time. That track switches all the time. And then I'll just be like, okay, I just want to hear this section just for now, and then loop that section, and then just this.
So you're bringing your decks with you, I take it.
Yeah.
If you had an unlimited budget of money, so if you had infinity money, I love asking DJs and creative people these questions because it's the answers I get are phenomenal. If you had an unlimited amount of money,
Okay.
what would you change in the DJ industry?
Unlimited amount of money to change in the industry. I'll just make more venues and events. I think I'll just create more venues and events for more people to explore that. I think it's great. It's fine as it is. I don't think there's anything, because with everything, you're going to have your negatives and positives.
That's true.
I think if you're continuously pushing the positive, then it's bound to like push things forwards. And if you have platforms for females, you have platforms for the LGBT community, you have platforms for everyone across the board. You don't discriminate on people, then that's fine for me. That's what I'd put my money towards, creating more platforms for DJs to
I like that. I like that a lot. How do you push your boundaries for yourself and the people that you work with to uplift yourself and them?
Push my boundaries. I think at present I'm pushing more the genres. I'm trying to incorporate a lot more housey elements into my music. A lot more. So there might be some rock elements, but
I like that.
More the guitar sounds. I think that just pushing the sound and experimenting. Like, you're allowed to experiment. That's why you're creative. You're allowed to pull elements from different things. You don't particularly have to see what everyone else is doing, because it's great to be part of a trend. It's always good to not feel on your own, but sometimes you need to stand out and stand up and be like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Do you want to,
join in?
cover the ride?
Yeah. Do you want to join in, or do you want to leave or get left behind? It's one of those. It's one or the other.
Yeah. So that's it.
What is the best memory you have to date being a DJ?
Being a DJ. Okay. I played in Wembley Arena.
Ooh.
I still got that picture. I was looking at it the other day, actually. And there was like 10,000 people.
Ooh.
And the artist got people to switch on their phone cameras.
Yeah.
And it was just lights. And at first I thought, this is going to be so weird having 10,000 people look at you. But I was DJing, so I wasn't really particularly looking at any individual person, because it just looked like a massive lights and a massive people. So that was a great feeling. That was DJ wise. That nothing's.
I like the
top that.
I like the way when you say an answer to me, you have this big grin. Obviously, everyone else can't see it, but you have you have a big grin, and it shows me. One thing I love about doing the podcast is when I'm talking to people, how passionate they are about what they do, and I have the gift of being able to see, everyone smile about what they do and influence people to do what they love. So thank you for that.
No, I appreciate giving me this platform.
No, for me, it's a pleasure to be able to see people do what they love. And my next question for you is, define what success means to you and how it has helped you.
So I'm still trying to define it, to
Yeah,
be honest.
I like that. I like the fact you say that.
I think it changes as you grow as a person. Every experience, every chapter in your life, you change what you feel is a successful thing for you. Before I thought, like I said, 10,000 people. I've hit my peak, but I've achieved that. So now I have to look for something else. I think at present now, it would be just to get some recognition for my music, which I think I do already have the production side of it. That would be nice. And also, I would like to give back. I've been in the works of trying to create like a DJ workshop with a collective of women. Because there's. Can I quickly say this, or is that
cool? Of course you can. Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So what I realized, there were a few female DJs before me, and they were on vinyl. But then I started on CDJs and then laptop, and there was a big gap from the DJs that did vinyl to CDJs. So I've been working with a collective called Words of Color, trying to educate the women that were on vinyl that still enjoyed DJing, not as much as possible, like not every weekend, but as like every 3 months or so, but educating them using laptops. Moving forward with technology, but also having the elements and the styles of what they've learned previously in the 80s, the 90s, and bringing it to the future. So I think that is also a definite thing for me in regards to success, like giving back and just paying it forward as well.
That's a good thing you're doing, because not many people would be doing that. Even though you're trying to find your own self and find your growth within yourself, you're still saying to everyone, I want to help people, to bring them on board, to understand that we can do things together rather than you just shooting up and going. So that's a nice thing. Has there ever been a time in your life where you said to yourself, I want to give up because you feel like you haven't had the support, or you haven't had the funds, or you're in a place where you want to get out of and you can't get out of it at that particular moment? How have you uplifted yourself and said, no, I'm not going to stay here?
I would say that it happens almost every few months, to be honest. Like, it's a battlefield. Like, there are times when you just think, okay, why? But you know what? It's the passion, it's the love, it pushes me forward. And also, like I said, I do a lot more meditating now and listening to myself, not listening to what everyone else is doing, not trying to compete with what everyone else is doing, because that's when you get the whole, oh, I'm ready to give up, because you're comparing yourself. And that creates another layer for you. And so what I try and tend to do is not go tunnel vision, but try and find the middle ground where I appreciate what people are doing, but also try and find my own little path and move forward in that. And that's helped me so far.
I like it. No, I like that. Do you feel that DJs learn enough about the music business? Because it's not just about being a DJ, it's also a business.
Yeah.
So how would you say that how would you define the two of them, and how does it work for you in a business sense, but also the creative sense? How do you keep that balance?
I think I've been blessed. I've been blessed throughout my life in that I studied business.
Yeah.
I work in the music business.
So you got it all set and planned.
Yeah, so that kind of, and it's like one side of my brain can shut off and I'll be like, okay, focus, do all the admin you need to do now, because you've got to make sure this gets sent in for all the taxes and stuff. And then when it's all done, then you can be creative and make sure that you can move forward. But I've always been very business orientated. Like, family around me have always started businesses, like a lot of lawyers and accountants around me. So I look at how they work and I think, okay, so how do I adapt that to a DJ? And it's almost like you have to do everything. You have to do your marketing, you have to do your promotion, you have to I don't even think anyone would want to manage me because I'm so hands-on.
The way you
They'd be
say
like,
it.
so what am I doing here? Like, I'm just getting paid. Okay, cool. Like, so I think, yeah, definitely it's needed for, especially the new wave of DJs. I think it would help them a lot more to understand that it's still a business at the end of the day. Like, you still get taxed like everyone else. So you make sure you have your books in order. Make sure people promoters respect you as well. Have your contracts in line, which you can create yourself. There's so much information online as well.
Yeah, there is definitely.
Promote yourself. Get a website. Just treat it as a business, really, and then you can have the fun / work as well after. Yeah.
Ah, what inspires you to stay in the industry that you're in?
What inspires me to stay in the fact that I can't stop listening to music, and I even, do you know what, this morning I woke up and I had a beat in my head constantly because I was working on music the night before, and it was still in my head this morning. So it was just like, okay, you need to put that down and record that, and feeling like that, to know that it's still carried on while I slept and I woke up.
Yeah.
I can't ever switch it off. I think that's it.
One sentence that I read about you was driven by relentless and unstoppable passion for music. Yeah. You're a London-based Afrobeat and hip hop DJ. When I saw that line, I was like, okay, I'm gonna contact her now.
Okay.
Because she clearly has a passion for what she does. Yeah. You've worked with quite a few people. Do you want to name a few of the people that you've worked with? I've got it in front of me, but.
So I'm sure you're gonna name the Cardi B. Everyone goes for the Cardi B.
I wasn't actually. No, I wasn't. I wasn't gonna name that one.
Okay, so there's the Cardi B. There's quite a few UK artists. So your gigs, Danae is close. I was instrumental with Stormzy, his first coming through. But personally, it's just I can't list them. Like, not that I've worked with a lot of people. It's just that it's just always been various times of my life. Yeah. So, just been out here grinding, as they say.
No, as you do. It's natural as you do. So, if you wasn't doing DJing, what would you be doing?
Probably working in IT.
IT?
Yeah.
Ooh, why IT?
It just came I'm very technical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I've always been like, the other day during this whole lockdown session, I had my mum asking me how to work her Zoom, and my sister on FaceTime saying, how do you work Zoom? And I'm trying to navigate the two of them. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like, what is going on? At the same time, did you not plan this? And they're like, no, but we need to get into the meeting. And I'm like, okay, but give me a moment. So man. I definitely think IT would probably be the route I would go down.
If there was one song that you wish you produced, what song would you choose, and why would you choose that particular song? I'm giving you another hard DJ question.
Hard DJ question. One song.
One song. You're only allowed one this time.
Okay. It might. Oh, I can't. I really. Like, as much as I want it to be like a.
She's struggling, guys. She's struggling.
I really can't. The love of all music is just. I just can't. I just wish I wrote everything, even as far back as classical music. Like.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh dear. So finally, my second to last question for you is, what advice would you give people out there who are starting to be a DJ? And what positive advice would you give them to help them within the business side of being a DJ?
Okay, so if you're starting as a DJ, please enjoy it. Enjoy it to the maximum. Enjoy experimenting. Enjoy listening to music. Just have fun, and remember that in your sets as well, because that fun element passes on. to everyone else. If they see you panicking or see you just looking very stern, it reaches out and it's just like, okay, you don't want to give that kind of energy out. So enjoy yourself. The business aspect is just make sure your foundations are right. So have your information all there across all the socials, all your websites, everything. Just have it there, because the most frustrating thing for me as an outsider, when I'm doing my radio plugin, when I'm trying to get in touch with a DJ and there's no information or email at least, it's like, wow. But then how are people supposed to contact you? So I get to see it from both sides. I get to see it as a client as well as a DJ within. So even if you think it's irrelevant, just put your email address. You don't have to put your number, just put your email address there, and that's
just have that contact.
Yeah. And just enjoy the journey and know that it's a beautiful journey. That's it.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
I can say. Yeah.
I like that. Well, I've got one question that's not on my list, but what is your ultimate goal? What would you say is your ultimate goal for you to achieve, if you had one?
I do have one at the present moment. Yeah, that's what you said. I've told like a handful of people, so I guess more people are going to know this. But I would like to compose a score for a film. Yeah,
I like
that I've been learning a lot of music theory, playing the piano, and just understanding how people, well, not people, it's a lot of men in that industry, but compose music for films. It would be something like Star Wars or something epic, like an epic film would be.
I like that.
Then I'd be like, yep.
On your tick list. Do you have a list of things that you go down and say, yeah, I've done that, okay, I've done that, I need to do that one?
I don't particularly have a bucket list, but when I've got a vision, I'm just,
you're for it.
Focused.
Yeah.
And then
like
that's
that.
it. Yeah.
That's perfect.
So hopefully the next time we talk.
Yeah. Oh, you invite me for another one, okay? Okay, right. She's invited me for another one, guys. So I'm happy to say in the next, I don't know how long, but me and DJ Chillz are going to have another podcast where we have an update. We call it the update, the continuation of where you are, I suppose, or where you are now. That's what we're going to call it, where you are now. I like that.
Yeah. I'm down for that one.
That's cool. Finally, where can we find you on all your social media? Tell us.
Okay, first and foremost, I'll go for my website, which is www.djchillz.com. And then all my socials are at DJ Chillz. And it's got links to all my socials there as well. I'm even on TikTok, but I haven't made a video yet.
You know what, right? Every time someone says TikTok, they burst out laughing.
I don't know, because it's just people having fun and just like with music as well in the background and just like doing the most random things on it. So yeah,
I think you have to make every platform your own in a way. So especially you do music, so you can just just manipulate it and make it your own in your own way. Is there anywhere else we can find you?
So that's pretty much. The website will branch out to everything. So from the website, so you can either listen to me on Spotify and all streaming platforms, Apple and all of that. DJ Chillz, it's all there, Amazon, everything. Yeah.
Cool, perfect. DJ Chillz, I want to thank you so much for coming on the Us People podcast. It's been brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Savia Rocks. I didn't know the Rocks was in there as well.
The Rocks is in there, yes.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Guys, I want to thank you so much for listening to the Us People podcast and being able to have people like DJ Chillz on here to help advise you and give you inspiration, to let you know that your dreams can come true and you just need to keep pushing yourself to be able to do that. So please, thank you so much for listening. Please remember, you can subscribe to us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and any platform that you prefer. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also donate to the Us People podcast so we can continue to do what we do to help inspire people. All you need to do is go to PayPal and type in paypal.me/Us People podcast. Please remember to always stay happy, stay positive, and continue to be kind to one another.
Oh wow, this is really dope. Thank you for having me. And I love what you're doing. So if there's any time you want me to do any promo or anything like that, send it my way. I felt so relaxed. I was like, oh, am I saying too much?